Hey guys, so maybe you have seen or maybe you haven't. I've started this leaning out phase 2 weeks ago, so now I've just finished week 2 out of 12. And I wanted to talk a bit more about what I'm doing and how I'm doing things and why. I haven't changed anything since day 1, and now it's day 14 already. I will probably not change anything until I see that it stops working. So for now it's working really well. I lost about 0.7 kilograms since day 1, which is perfect because I'm looking to lose about 4 kilos at the most at the end of the 12 weeks. So I don't really want to go really low on my fat loss journey. This is not a contest prep dieting protocol. This is not a contest prep at all. It doesn't look like a contest prep. This is the first time I'm actually dieting and doing cardio and just aiming to lose fat and aiming to lose body fat without help from PEDs and without doing all kinds of crazy shit. I remember when I was competing and I was feeling sick is a broad term, but I was feeling nauseous. Like I was experiencing this nausea when I was doing cardio. Okay, it was so rough that my body just felt sick all the time instead of, I don't know, feeling hungry and then full, and all those things were out the window. Going back to what I'm doing right now, I haven't changed anything in the sense that I have the same amount of carbs, the same amount of fats, and the same amount of protein, and I'm doing the same amount of cardio. So it's 3 sessions a week, 40 minutes each session. It's usually 20 minutes on the elliptical machine and another 20 minutes on incline treadmill walking, brisk walking on incline, or the Stairmaster or bike. I've been alternating between the 3 for 20 minutes because my left knee feels funny and has been feeling funny for almost a year now, and I really don't want to push it. I don't know what it is in there, but as long as I listen to it and I avoid what makes it feel painful, it's okay. I should probably go and have an MRI done, but I have to get my braces off first. Going back to cardio, I'm experimenting with things. I like a fast pace, and my heart rate varies between 130 and 170 beats per minute. So you can look at it as an interval training. I'm not doing a consistent effort on the cardio machine, and I like that. I like the push. I like the challenge. I remember when I liked to run outside, and I was doing all kinds of short sprints in between regular moderate running, so interval training during cardio works better for me. Maybe it doesn't for everybody, but everybody's free to try what they want and what they like. There's no strict recipe, and that was the main goal of this clip. You shouldn't follow in what else someone else is doing. Even if what they're doing is right for them and it works for them, that doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you too. So keep that in mind when you're aiming to achieve your goals, whatever that may be: fat loss, muscle gain, whatever. I like doing things my way, and if I were to give it a name, I'd say that right now I'm looking to lose body fat on an educated instinct. So my eating is the same, but my deficit isn't the same because I do cardio 3 days a week. But for the rest of the 4 days. The rest of the 4 days when I don't do cardio, obviously my energy levels are different because I don't burn the same amount of energy, whereas when I do cardio I burn more, so, but I eat the same. I don't eat more when I do cardio, or I don't eat less when I don't do cardio. I just eat the same. And for example, on Sundays I don't do anything. I don't do cardio. I don't lift. Maybe at the most I will go and have a short hike on the mountain, which is gonna be a 1 hour walk, pretty moderate hike, and that's it. But that's the most of what I'll do on Sundays. And I eat the same. I don't cut out fats or carbs or anything like that. I don't know what else to say. I mean, there are many things to say, obviously, but I want to share more of what I'm doing, but at the same time, I don't want you listening and watching me to think that you should do what I do, But there are some certain principles that work behind any kind of structure someone chooses to follow, and those principles are obviously gonna be in tune with an energy deficit. Like, you need an energy deficit. And I was just thinking, and I was sharing this a few days ago, about intermittent fat loss. And for me it makes sense because in those days when I eat the same but I don't burn as much, maybe my body doesn't lose body fat, or maybe it only loses body fat when I sleep, but that's it. And then during the day I don't have the same burn, I don't have the same energy output, and that's fine. But then there are other days when my cardio maybe is a bit more intense, and my lifting maybe it's a bit more heavy and more intense, and shorter rests, and I will feel great. And obviously then I'm gonna repeat this word, obviously, I don't know why I'm fixated on it, but of course that when I'm gonna burn more, then I'm gonna lose a bit more body fat. But making a sum out of a weekly sum out of all of these days that maybe look like something, an undulating graphic, if you want to visualize it, the energy balance should tilt towards the negative. Like, there should be more energy burned than taken in. And then you have to keep in mind that there has to be enough protein in there, so you don't lose muscles, you don't lose muscle mass. And sometimes, and I've been doing this even when I was prepping, and I've seen this with coaches too, and it's perfectly safe to do this. Sometimes I would use more protein instead of carbs, just to make sure that I would prefer burning protein as an energy source than having too little protein. And usually the scale still goes down. Like, usually the body fat still gets burned. It's different. How we burn carbs is different than how we burn protein. When you eat carbs, you burn less energy digesting those carbs than when you eat protein. So already, calorie per calorie eaten, there is more energy burned from protein than from carbs. So it makes sense to switch some carbs for some protein, but I'm not there yet. I haven't changed absolutely anything. I have to say, I love my mornings with avocado toast and whole eggs. That toast is incredible. It's full of seeds and very tasty and very satiating. And then at lunch, I love my carrots and beef or whatever I'm gonna eat. And then there's a protein pancake with peanut butter. I still have peanut butter, 1 teaspoon every day, and that's probably gonna be the first thing that goes out once the scale stops moving. But hopefully I will be able to take it out before seeing that the scale stops moving. I don't want to rush it yet. Maybe next week or maybe in 2 weeks. I'll see how I feel. I am very mindful of how hungry I feel and how satiated I get after each meal. So that is, for me, is a way better indicator to see that things are progressing than, say, how the scale changes from one Saturday to the next, for example. Another thing I like to keep in mind and I like to check is my body weight on the scale every Saturday morning, and then my body weight the next day after I've had a lot of carbs on Saturday. So after a carb up during Saturday, my body weight usually on Sunday should be lower because my body is in a fat burning accelerating process. I don't know how to call this, but once you start getting in more carbs after your body has been deprived of energy for a whole week, the body starts to burn a bit better and a bit more efficiently. So that's gonna be the time to see if the body weight goes lower, and it should. When you're looking to lose body fat, I don't think it's smart not to carb up. I don't think it's smart to keep a caloric deficit throughout the entire time. And what I found that works best for me is to have 1 or 2 meals, high carb meals, during one day of the week. So that's every 7 days. The 8th day should be a carb up, and maybe for some people that should be a bit more distance, like it should be once every 12 days or even maybe once every 20 days, but it really depends on activity levels, on body fat, current body fat, and how someone burns energy. Like, there are a lot of factors to keep in mind, but for me it works really well to eat once every 7 days, to carb up every 8th day, to put it like that. Now, I don't know if you have any questions. You can always drop them in the comment section, or you can always send me a message. I'm open to share what I'm experiencing. This is I'm gonna repeat myself, but this is way different than from a contest prep, where you do things way more strict, and you have way less carbs, way less energy in total, and you can't really go there safely without using PEDs. That's my opinion. Like, that is what I believe. Like, if you create a major caloric deficit, you're gonna put yourself in that situation where you lose muscle mass and body fat at the same time, so you lose both. That's not very smart. Like, the caloric deficit when you're dieting naturally should be moderate to low, and you should just take enough time to lose whatever the amount of body fat you want to lose. That's just my how I see things. It's my approach. If I were to compete, I would have to probably take 18-20 weeks to diet just to go lower on the body fat instead of creating even more deficit. I don't think it's that safe. Now, that's just how I see things. I've been dieting naturally, and I've been dieting on PEDs assisted, and I can definitely say there are major differences. And when you're assisted, you have way more leeway to diet. Like, you can create a major deficit and still not lose muscle mass. Like, you're safe. You're done. You don't go into a catabolic state that easily, and it happens, but it not that easy. And right now I'm doing things naturally. So yeah, this is it's just an experiment for me. Like, it's fun. At least for now, it's fun. I haven't gone into that state where I'm hungry all the time, or I'm tired all the time. And maybe at the end of the 3 months, like 12 weeks, I might feel that. I might not. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think you should feel hungry all the time if you're not looking to compete. I keep repeating that word. Sorry, but I like it to make to make my statement clear. If you're looking to compete, then hunger is at another level, because you want to create a bit more deficit, and you're gonna go with your body fat way lower, and so your body will create an imbalance between hunger and satiety, and you'll feel more hungry than usual. You will secrete more hunger hormones, and you will secrete less satiating hormones like leptin. So there are a bit of differences. But if like me right now, you're looking to lose a bit of body fat, a bit for me is 3-4 kilos, or maybe for you it could be 5-6 kilos of body fat. I'm talking about body fat, not body weight. So I hope that is already clear. But if you're looking to lose a bit of body fat, then you shouldn't feel hungry all the time. Hunger in the morning is a great indicator that the metabolism is working. Then hunger in the evening again is a great indicator that you're burning through those through that food, and you're burning through your own body's fat stores. And maybe you will feel hungry after working out, but not always. Some people don't feel hungry after working out, they feel sick. I've had both, and I have both. Like sometimes I feel sick, sometimes I feel very hungry. It depends. It depends on many things. You should feel hungry throughout the day, but you shouldn't feel like starving all the time. If you feel like you're crawling the walls with hunger, and you just finished eating and you're still hungry as hell, then maybe you're eating too little, or you're doing too much cardio, or you're eating too little protein, not necessarily too little calories in total. So maybe you should switch up some of those carbs for protein. But yeah, hunger should be there, but it should be in phases throughout the day. It should be in phases throughout the week. So maybe one day you will feel hungrier than usual, but then the next day you'll feel a bit better. It matters how much you sleep. I cannot stress this enough. At least 7 hours of sleep, or otherwise you are driving with your handbrake on if you don't have enough sleep. That's the best analogy I can give. Sleep, mind for hunger, mind for satiety. So these are cues you should keep in check. And then don't overdo the cardio, don't overdo the lifting sessions. Don't go too long. Don't go too light in your lifting sessions, because you're thinking that now you're eating less, so you don't have as much energy. Just push it through. And yeah, maybe I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. I'm gonna keep updating you. Week 2 is out. I'm gonna go and have my carb up meal now. I'm very excited. Same rice pasta with beef and tomato sauce is just my go-to. I'm in love with this dish. And I've had some rice cakes in the morning, and probably will have some cheese pie later in the afternoon. I'll see. If you have any questions, just write them whatever you want. Bye.